there are a lot of things out there that are a little scary, but so necessary for everyday life and maintaining balanced ecosystems. These include things like bees and sharks and spiders and all of the microbes that we have all over our bodies. These microbes and their genetic material make up the microbiome. These are viruses, fungi, protozoa, and my favorite, bacteria, which can synthesize nutrients we can't make, modulate our immune system, and digest the things that we eat. They can also keep us healthy. The gut microbiome's become sort of the sexy thing in science recently. And it's impacted by everything, from genetics to diet to where you live. It's also been associated with things like cancer, infectious disease, obesity, cardiovascular disease. Before I moved here for grad school, I worked at the FDA as a research fellow. I got to do awesome research. I had a great time. I was exposed to what the FDA actually does. And I got really interested in the gut microbiome and how microbes can remedy disease. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nicole, microbes make us sick. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of really bad bacteria out there, but there's also a lot of really good ones that keep us healthy in a number of ways. I'm going to give you 2 examples today. Poop and phage. I think we all know what poop is, but phage are these little viruses that actually kill bacteria. Ironically, bacteria have the genes to synthesize these phage. At FDA, I worked on this bug called Clostridium difficile, which colonizes the gut of people of a perturbed gut microbiome, usually following antibiotics. It causes horrible diarrhea. And fortunately, these people can be treated with antibiotics the first time, but then it can recur, and these people can get an FMT, or a fecal microbiota transplant. This is a fancy term for a poop transplant. This is why stool banks now exist, you know, like blood banks for poop. Antibiotic resistance is a major public health issue that everybody should be aware of. We're always looking for novel ways to combat these antibiotic-resistant superbugs like C. diff and MRSA. You know, the list is just getting bigger, unfortunately. But this is why we have phage. I'm going to tell you, to make a long story short, this guy went abroad, he came back with this infection, right? And it was resistant to all of the antibiotics. A bunch of labs got together and gave this guy a cocktail of phage, and he lived. BuzzFeed actually produced a pretty good 15-minute documentary on Netflix. While I was writing this talk a few weeks ago, a teenage girl was treated with phage for a resistant mycobacterium infection. What's really interesting is that phage were actually being explored for antibacterial purposes before antibiotics were even a thing. These are just a couple of examples of how microbes can prevent disease and treat human disease. I can go on about this all day, but you really don't want me to. And they make really good art. So I mentioned earlier the gut microbiome is associated with all these bad things. So what's a healthy microbiome? Well, a healthy microbiome is a diverse microbiome. And it's associated with things like eating a balanced diet full of fiber and plants, not eating artificial sweeteners and processed foods. About 10 years ago, this field exploded with the Human Microbiome Project that was funded by NIH. This project aimed at characterizing the human microbiome and made databases from poop to study this thing. Now, unfortunately, there's a huge communication gap between the scientific community and the public. All right? And until recently, scientists weren't really trained to talk to non-scientists about science. So I think we can close this gap. You know, make things fun. Talk about poop, you know? And make things relatable, which is why the title of my talk is The Microbiome and Teamwork. We have a ton of microbes all over our bodies. And the bacteria alone outnumber our human cells. So they're doing a lot. And they're working together to make sure we're healthy and they can live, you know, because that's first and foremost. And like these microbes, when we come together in teams and we blend our different perspectives and backgrounds, we can culminate these into a solution to a problem that draws on all these different things. And this way, you're probably not going to miss a critical component of the solution, right? Like you saw in the picture. Anyway, I know I work way better when I talk to people about anything. I don't come up with good ideas on my own. This is both in the lab, my boss will probably tell you that, and in life. Now, I hope that in these 5 minutes you took something away and I've sparked your curiosity somehow. This is Ignite anyway, right? So just remember, Not all microbes are bad, and there's a lot of really great poop memes and jokes out there.